In your essence, you are the superconscious state, the energy of all life. It takes care of you. It guides you. It will take you where you can realize that life is a dream. Life, as we see it now, is the shadow of reality. Sydney Banks. I'm Stephen Middleton, coming to you from the Possibility Action Network. Our core values include I am, I can, and I will. I am Possibility Man. Today, I want to share on the theme Beyond Positive Thinking. But first, a reminder, if you have not traveled over to YouTube and subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so today. I have placed a link below this video whereby you can subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll get notice when I post new content. Now back to our share, Beyond Positive Thinking. This is the third of our installment where I'm simply chewing around, digging around this idea of beyond positive thinking. I've mentioned the granddaddy of positive thinking, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, who back in the day wrote his groundbreaking book, The Power of Positive Thinking. Now, thinking positive is important. In fact, it is a good thing. But when I think of writers such as Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Bernard Schwartz, Les Brown, and others, it seems that we have to force it. We have to make it happen, that we have to rise up in the morning and declare, if it's going to be, it's up to me. I'm sure you've heard that expression. I've also heard the expression, put on your big girl underpants. Maybe you've had that expression as well. Or there's a popular one, man up, positive thinking, to achieve by force of will. In Beyond Positive Thinking, I am suggesting something more gentle, whereby we're not talking about power, we're not talking about making it happen. I am suggesting that we can allow it to happen. Allow it to happen. Allow life to unfold. Allow the goodness that you want to simply become available to you. Now you might be asking, how does one go beyond positive thinking? Now I don't want to script this too much because all you need to know is that you don't have to worry about thinking positive. But I want to offer a couple of pointers for you. How to go beyond positive thinking? The first step, I believe, is to recognize how well we are made. And by we, I mean all creation. Those creation that are in the sea, and those creation, including humankind, that are on the land. Consider marine science. You know, there are marine biologists now who are studying the fish and other creatures that live in the sea. And what they have determined, that sea animals behave in a certain way. These scientists know where these animals are going to go at various times of the year. These scientists know when these animals are going to give birth. These scientists know when is the best time to try to capture some of these animals that we can use for food. Because all creatures behave in a certain way. Also consider game animals. You know, hunters know when is the best time to hunt for deer. Deer know when is the best time for us to try to avoid those hunters. They also know if something is happening in the woods that sounds like gunshot, we need to find safety. Other animals also know when inclement weather is approaching and they know to find shelter because we are all made in a certain way. We human beings are made in a certain way as well. I had an experience last night. I was getting ready to brush my teeth and putting toothpaste on my toothbrush day in, day out for many decades now. Or last night, this is the first time this happened to me, and maybe it's because I needed to talk about it today. As I squeezed the toothpaste out of the tube, a part of the toothpaste jumped into my right eye. And in a moment, my right eye closed, but before it closed, some toothpaste got onto my eyeball. I could sense it. I could feel it. I could feel the irritation, but I could also feel that in a moment's notice, my eyeball began to lubricate. My eye began to dispel that foreign substance that had gotten into it. Now, I knew to rinse my eye out to help the process, but my point is my body knew what to do because human beings are made in a certain way. And that's the discovery of Sydney Banks. A welder in 1973 said he discovered that all life, work in a certain way. Now, he tried to articulate this, and he tells us about mind, consciousness, and thought. I like to simply abbreviate it by saying MCT. Now, Banks was not telling us we have to learn about mind, consciousness, and thought. He was simply saying that the world works in a certain way, that there's a power and energy behind all life. He called it mind. This is what the animals in the sea understand. This is what the animals that walk the earth understand. And this is what we human beings get to understand as well. There's a power behind all life. Banks called it mind. Some others may call it God. Others may call it the absolute. It doesn't matter what name you assign to it. He next said that there is consciousness. There's this consciousness that brings awareness to all life. If you're watching this YouTube video now or this Facebook video now, you recognize that you see an image on the screen because you are aware, because you are consciousness. And then he said, there are thoughts, not your thoughts or my thoughts, but just the principle of thoughts, that the thoughts are always in the air. And these three items, mind, consciousness, and thought, MCT, is what produces all life. So again, I say life works in a certain way. All of the qualities that you desire, all of the qualities that you crave, all of the goodness that you want is already available to you, and you have it now. Now, what you want and what you care about is what you want and what you care about. What you want and what you care about is not what I want and what I care about. We get to want what we want. We get to care about what we care about, because that points us in the direction of the things that are available to us as individuals. And again, I say, the things that you desire, you had it all the time. Again, I want to remind you of the movie, The Wizard of Oz. I talked about it a few days ago, and I got my characters a little mixed up because when I shared with you, I just thought about it on the spot. But afterwards, I thought, oh man, I got my characters confused. But anyway, it's all good. I'm sure you understand my point. But here is what I want to remind you of once again. The point of the movie in The Wizard of Oz is that the scarecrow wanted a brain. Now, throughout the movie, the scarecrow demonstrated that his cognitive skills were pretty good, but yet he felt that he did not have a brain. Then Dorothy and the scarecrow encountered the Tin Man. The Tin Man said that he wanted a heart. Now, the Tin Man showed compassion throughout the movie, but because he couldn't feel the beat, because he couldn't feel a ticker or listen to a ticker, he felt that he did not have a heart. And then there was the ferocious lion, who displayed courage throughout the movie, but again he felt that he did not possess courage. But he had it all the time. And when they encountered the wizard simply pointed them back to the intelligence, to the brain, to the heart, to the courage that they had all the time. And the wizard has only one job. And the wizard's job is to point an individual back to himself or back to herself, because the thing that you want, trust me on this one, you have it. You have always had it. You don't have to make it up. You know, I am doing these videos today. I'm kind of smiling because I'm thinking back on my early life. When I was a teenager, you know, one of the things that scared me more than anything else was public speaking, was to do any kind of speaking publicly. Oh my gosh, you know, even when I was in college, I was afraid of public speaking, of speaking up. Now, I did speak up in class from time to time, but it scared the heck out of me. Oh my gosh, I was allowed to teach a course when I was an undergraduate. My professor turned over his class to me, and I was so afraid of public speaking. And look at me several decades now. I'm laying down these videos on social media. I'm realizing that the thing that I wanted, and believe me, I wanted to be able to share, but it frightened me so that I tried to avoid it with all my passion. I had it all the time. The job of the wizard in the movie was a single job. And the single job of the wizard was to point the scarecrow back to the wisdom that he always had. It was to point the Tin Man back to the heart that he always had. It was to point the lion back to the courage that he always had. And when it came to little Dorothy, he said at the end of the movie that she had it all the time. What did she want? She wanted to go home. She wanted to go home to the home that she thought that she had left. But she had never left her home. The wizard turned her back to herself. And this is why the Possibility Action Network exists. We're not trying to develop some new technology. We're not trying to, rally the troop to discover something else. Our single mission is to turn people back to the wisdom, to the knowledge, to the things that they crave the most, and to let them know that they had it all the time. And then the next question that you'll ask then, okay, Milton, if I have it, then how do I find it? Well, there are two ways of discovering what you already have. But before I show you these two ways, I want to say this about it. You know you already have it. That's why you want it. It seems a little contradictory. Now consider what I said to you before. I wanted to be a communicator. I wanted to share. Oh my gosh, I wanted to do it. It was in me all the time, but I did not know I had it. I needed a wizard to point out to me, hey, you got it, brother. There's nothing that you have to do to make it. You got it. And that's what I'm saying to you. In every area of your life, I don't care if you are dealing with anxiety and depression now. I want to tell you, innate health is yours. That you are healthy now. Then you will ask, well, why don't I know it? Well, maybe no one has pointed it out to you before. Maybe you think that the thoughts that run across your brain are real. And when you think that, of course, consciousness brings them to life. I mean, that's just the way the world works. That's just the way the human being works. But you have it all the time. Someone may say, well, I want to go to college. I want a college education. I say, if you have that desire, the college degree and the education that accompanies it is yours. You just have to pursue it. How do I know that? Because you want it. If it didn't belong to you, you wouldn't want it. Then someone may say, well, I want to get a doctoral philosophy degree. I want to become a lawyer. I want to become a surgeon. I want to become a heart specialist. I want to become a neuro surgeon. Whatever it is that you want, you already have it. You just need to pursue it. How do I know? Because you want it. If you didn't want it, then maybe we could say, what do you want? Because you have it, what you want right now. So then, you'll ask, how do you discover it? Well, discovering anything about you involves two processes as I have come to understand it. One is insight-based. Insight-based, that you get an insight. For example, you may say, something, I want to become a nurse. That is, I want to help people who are sick. I want to work in a hospital. I want to work in a doctor's office. Well, you may discover one day that you really have compassion for people who are hurting. And you may discover that you just have a natural bedside manner. And you may discover that you just want to serve people who have been injured. And you may discover that profession is the right profession for me. It's insight-based. It's a recognition that you once didn't have, but all of a sudden the light bulb came on for you. The second way to discover if you have the thing that you want or not is through understanding. Look, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Wizard of Oz had the things that they wanted. They just lacked an understanding of what they had. And trust me, it's like driving at night. Once you recognize it, just continue driving. You can see the next 40 to 50 feet. Just keep moving. You'll see the next 40 or 50 feet, and the same applies to your life. Whatever it is that you want. You may say, I want more money. We'll talk about money at another time. But it works in the same way. I'm Stephen Middleton with the Possibility Action Network. Our core values include I am. That is, you are the energy of all life. We all are. Everything is, including the rocks. Jesus said, if you hold your peace, the rocks are going to cry out because the rocks have it too. I am. I can because I have capacity. You can too because you have capacity. You want something, you got capacity. I'll tell you, you can do that because you can. And then the last one, because as some people say today, we have free will. I will. Only you can choose that. Only you can say, I will, because you have the free will, apparently, I don't know for sure, to say that you will or not. Now, some people say that if there's something for you to do, that the energy of all life will not let you off the hook until you do it. So maybe it's not free will. Maybe you gotta do it. And that's why I declare that I am Possibility Man. Until next time, good day.